Have you ever gone on vacation and didn't want to bring your whole camera gear with you, while still be able to produce content as high as possible? Well, today I'm going to show you which gear I bring when I travel, especially when I have to travel with light package. Good morning, New York City, and welcome from JFK Airport today. I'm going to New Orleans today, going to be at a wedding. I thought I'm going to show you which gear I'm to bring with me when I'm traveling, but when I don't want to bring everything with me. Alright guys, welcome to New Orleans. The wedding is over. I have to say the wedding was incredible. The food was outstanding, one of the best foods I've ever had on a wedding, and also the venue was beautiful. But now it's time to talk about the most important thing for today. What to bring when you travel, when you want to film, but you don't want to bring your whole gear with you. Let's talk about camera. So most of the times when I'm shooting, when I'm traveling, but also for jobs, I'm using the Sony a7 IV. And for me, this has a couple of reasons. First of all, this camera is a hybrid camera. And this means it can do photos and it can do videos in a very good quality. For example, if you want to do video, it can shoot up to 4K 60 frames per second, which is great if you want to do slow motion. It also can shoot in S-Log3, which is cool if you want to do color grading. It's very helpful. And also I have to say, if you are a little bit on a budget, if you want to go with Sony, I think this camera is just the perfect choice between affordable but also amazing quality. So if you ask yourself now what my second camera is, because sometimes you see shots of this camera, I honestly have to say I shoot most of it with my iPhone 13 Pro, which has an amazing image quality for just an iPhone. And I think it's perfect if you just want to make quick shots, but also maybe want to include a second camera into your shots, which makes it perfectly because you can sync it in post. When it comes down to lenses, I take usually two lenses with me. So first of all, this lens, the Sony 16 to 35mm f.4. And I think this lens is just perfect if you want to travel, if you want to do vlogs, but also if you want to be flexible with your focal range. I think 16 very wide to 35 medium wide is kind of the perfect range for it. It's f.4, so it's not that strong with light, and also the shallow depth of field is not so good compared to, for example, f2.8. But again, if you want to compare prices to what you get for it, I think this lens for now is the perfect choice. The second lens that I go with is the Sony 85mm 1.8. I think the pictures, the videos that you get is just very cinematic. You can get a great shallow depth of field. f1.8 is amazing in low light. And I experienced so far that kind of the combination of this 16 to 35mm and this 85mm range is the perfect choice for me if I'm traveling. Let's talk about audio. So one of the most important things for me when I'm making videos is 100% audio. I struggled for a long time what is the perfect microphone for travel. I figured out it's just a lavalier. So right now I'm working with the Rode Wireless Go 2, which is an incredible microphone with an insane quality. But one of the coolest things about it is that it has two microphones included. You can use it, for example, when vlogging and when you're very close, but also right now when you're like very far away. Alright, let's talk about accessorizers. I like to keep my stuff as much organized as possible. That's why I bring this beautiful little bag with me and try to store all the tiny little gear things in it. I like to bring, of course, batteries with me. I usually bring 3 of these Sony batteries with me. I also, of course, bring 1 charger with me for that. I usually bring 2 SD cards with each 128 gigabytes, and that allows me to record more or less between 2 and 3 hours of video. I also bring 1 ND filter with me, especially when I'm using the 85mm and want to shoot with an aperture of 1.8. It's kind of helpful to keep the shutter and the aperture low and also get cinematic image. I also like to bring these Gorilla Pods with me. 1 for the big camera, but also 1 for the iPhone, which is kind of helpful when you don't want to bring a big tripod with you, but you want to be, again, very flexible when filming. That's my equipment so far, and I have to say, most of it fits perfectly in this handy backpack. And before I forget, for travels like these, where I also do a lot of kind of private stuff and I also want to do photos a little bit more, I like to bring my compact camera with me, this Leica Q, which is an amazing camera gives you insane quality, but also what I like most about it, it looks quite cool, it doesn't stick out very much, and it's quite nice to go, for example, like yesterday, on a wedding, take this with me and yeah, shoot some photo. Alright guys, this was my tiny little gear talk straight out from New Orleans. Let me know in the comments if you have any specific questions about the gear that I'm using. I would love to tell you more about it. And also, I would love to hear your opinion about content like this, maybe a little bit more on this channel here in the future. But anyways, I hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And I see you in the next one.